Veliyath now joins us. Porinju, good morning. Always good to talk to you. You had two broad calls, right? Bullish on changing India and, of course, bullish on, as you describe them, chore companies, but, which are now improving. So how much more do you think those two themes are to play out?
Good morning, Anuj. These themes have a long way to go. In fact, when I talk about, to make it normal people understand the so-called chore companies turning around, that may be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity which is going on for the last 2 years, at least 1 year, definitely. And it's going to play for at least next 2 years. Many companies will come out of that earlier style of management. And, they will go professional. And those who are not willing to go professional, they will be forced to go professional, take care of the minority shareholders, respect the minority shareholders, stop siphoning out money, otherwise they will be caught. There is a fear of being caught first time in this country. Investors are underestimating the impact, the long-term impact of the unprecedented reforms and actions by the government in making the structural changes happening in this country. It is amazing. I am telling you, those who really understand. First of all, people should be unbiased politically to really understand this. And some people are having a closed mind, There are Modi haters, there are various aspects happening in the economy, in the politics. I don't know. It's something amazing. Even knowledgeable people, they fail to realize this impact. See, India never had so much of visibility. If you are looking at the economic growth ahead, or if you are looking at the corporate earnings, which is more relevant for the investing community. I'm telling you, India never had such a earnings visibility going forward. So this is people who understand and appreciate the structural changes in the economy. There may be, I understand a lot of traders and, small time vendors, they are unhappy for the time being. They also will be happy at some point of time if they are not corrupt. See, corrupt people will never be happy going forward because they are caught now. They are, the people who steal money or means through the government system, misusing the subsidies. A lot of people were enjoying those kind of undeserving wealth. So that is getting stopped now. I was just listening to, one of the snippet by Prime Minister. He was talking about by linking the Aadhaar to the subsidy system. India is saving 57,000 crores per year as of now. So this is an amazing thing. This has been going on for the last so many decades. When India spent 100 rupees to help the poor people as a social responsibility to bring them up for inclusive growth, whatever, only 10 rupees used to reach the deserving people. The remaining 90% was going to the pockets of so many people in between. So this is something, I think, amazing. This can take our economy a long way. As we always talk, that structural migration of the economy from black to white and unorganized to organized, it's very easy to say. I'm telling you, people fail to understand the significance of this in the coming years. It is tremendous. It is it's first time in this country. Unprecedented. I'm telling you, the companies, I used to talk, India is a mid-cap. You see, in the economy, the global economy, as a $2.2 trillion economy or whatever. If you see the per capita income of the GDP, the per capita GDP, we are a very small cap. I would say micro cap. And if you look at the market cap of India, it's like a small cap again. It's a large small cap, I would say. So we have a long way to go. So, some people, experts and traders or gamblers, they may be looking for events like what Trump is talking, how the North Korea, they play with their nuclear gadgets, I would say nuclear toys, whatever. We have to ignore all these things. This is not important. This is only for the media to discuss, for the social thinkers to comment on that. Okay. I'm saying what India talks, what India is trying to do, what Indian leader is trying to do. So that is important and relevant for stock picking in India.
Absolutely, Porinju. Take your point that you have to have a sharp eye and you have to sort of look for those turnaround stories. I want to take up a specific segment with you. because it's a complex one. You know, companies that are into some form of either specialty chemicals or a specialty mineral product, you know, which the cycle is turning, whether it's graphite. You have a couple of such plays as well. I mean, you have a stock called Khaitan Chemicals, not very sure about exactly which chemical it is. You also have Ashapura Mine Chem. A lot of these specialty plays have had a dream run, 400% to, you know, 1000% on some stocks. Are you looking at selling out or booking profit at all? Or are you looking at any fresh ideas in this very niche area?
See, some of the stocks in that segment has really gone up, if you see, last 1-2 years, and especially in the last few months, like graphite and all. I don't know. That's too much of a bull run. And this is basically, you know, that kind of high prices or the price increase in the commodity or in that product may not sustain for long. So there, again, there will be more supply and kind of, but I don't know. I don't feel comfortable going into those stocks which have already gone up by 5 and 10 times. So Ashapura is true that I recently picked, I think some 5-6% in portfolio management. It's not, it has got some challenges, you know. When you look at the balance sheet, you may see some of the very large liabilities, contingent liabilities or payable to insurance companies, I mean to the bank, the shipping companies, you know. When they are one of the very large players in bentonite globally. It's a very important product, and now they have got a very strong R&D. They're developing new products and value-added products, and you know the bleaching clay kind of very important products, very niche products. So, and the company is very large, around 1,200 crores in revenue. And they have been going through some challenging times because of the ban on bauxite exports earlier. So that was an accident happened to the company. But I think that they have already paid by a very low market cap. I'm not recommending this stock. The stock has really shot up after I bought in the last couple of weeks. So investors should not just chase ideas after it has doubled in a short period. Please refrain from buying such already grown up stocks. I think that's the biggest problem. We have so much of variety of stocks in this country. So many of growing and growth potential areas, different segments, sub-segments, infrastructure. You take anything else in India. Because the magic figure, I always talk about the magic figure, the 1,300 million people. Those who understand the significance of this number while doing business in this country, I'm telling you, they will create huge wealth. And the second aspect investors have to understand is the impact of the unprecedented reform, as I told earlier, that reforms and actions by the government. It is unprecedented because it never happened in the history. Now, I think India is moving towards equal opportunity for every Indian. That's important. Till now, the corrupt people, bad guys, criminals had an advantage in this country. That is being removed now. That's the biggest ever social and economic reform for this country. And India will go a long way with that. We will not remain as a small cap as an economy. We will go to a mid cap and a large cap going forward. So that is the big picture. And if you, as I told earlier, if you are politically unbiased, try to understand the impact of these reforms and actions by the government. You cannot be bearish on any day in this country.
Mm-hmm. No, I think.
I think we talked about few stocks. I want to give very clear disclosure. Ashapura Mining, I think we are holding around 6% of the company. We bought it as a part of our long-term investment.
Okay. No, I take your point entirely on the linking of Aadhaar to bank accounts and to subsidies. All that is a big, is game-changing, and even PAN cards for that matter. That's perhaps definitely going to bring more people and more money into the tax net, not discounting any of that. I just want to make one number right. The government said 50,000 crores over 2 years. Porinju, FY15 and FY16 together it's 50,000 crore, but a World Bank report says that we can save 70,000 crores annually if all payments are digitized. Those were the two numbers that was mentioned in the World Bank report. But that's just to tell you what the data was. I wanted to come to another stock, and that is very much a population play, Tata Coffee. I believe that you have investments in that and you're closer home both to coffee growers and coffee drinkers. The last number which Tata Coffee reported showed a fall in revenues. Why do you like that stock?
Lata, I appreciate your question. Either you are talking about the World Bank data and all, but I'm telling you, Indians need not give so much importance to the World Bank data, Standard and Poor's. I'm telling this
this was data given by Indian government to the World Bank. I was only quoting that.
We are the best people, you and me are the best people to understand India and take a view on our economy, our future. I'm telling you, nobody else is better than Lata and Porinju Veliyath and people like Anuj, all of us, all Indians who are in that category, who are into investing or understanding, analyzing the markets, the corporate world, the numbers. Okay, so that way I normally ignore all this, the fancy big names globally if they talk something about India. And a lot of them are misled also, I'm telling you, by Indian journalists. So it's a different story. And now a question about Tata Coffee and Tata Global Beverages and Tata Coffee has been my important picks in the last year. And we are still holding. See, I may sell also sometimes shares, so please don't be under the impression that I'm telling I'm holding. That means I will never sell it or I'm not selling it today. So these are see now Tata Global Beverages the leader in this country. Lata ma'am, if you remember, I was discussing with you the leaders in India. But they are mid caps. See how many stocks have shot up just take last 1 year. Transport Corporation of India, Tata Global Beverages, including Tata Coffee, DCM Shriram. I used to talk about Godrej Properties, Oberoi's and Shobha. These kind of very large businesses, but they are in mid cap as a stock. Even though the company and the business what they are doing is very large in the so-called 1,300 million people country. So people, should have that bigger picture about these businesses going forward, these companies going forward. The consumption story, whatever you make in India itself.
No, you spoke about inflection point here, Porinju. You spoke about inflection point here. Has that inflection point story at least played out on Tata Global?
Yeah, because just like we discussed Reliance last year, I'm normally averse to the very large companies. There are hundreds of analysts after those companies. So Reliance, I'm so proud that I found it at around 850 rupees at the inflection point. First time I talked in media, and even we bought some in portfolio management that time. We are not holding it today. So Reliance Industries kind of, even every company, India's structure is like that. And some companies come into the prominence and in the fancy of investing community or traders, it goes up and it goes to a price which is going to discounting the next 5 years, 5 years fundamentals. That is why such companies stay stagnant for 5-10 years sometimes. Then they come, then that that suppressed valuations comes out. So same thing happened to Tata Global Beverages in the last 1 year. In fact, Tata Global Beverages doubled in the last 5 months. Just look at future group companies. I am very proud. I have been very, very bullish. Looking at it's a common sense approach. I didn't have any insider story or anything like that. I depend on the publicly available information, especially in the large companies. It makes all the sense. And today, all the companies are reporting everything in public. Till yesterday, whatever happened in the company, it is informed to NSE and BSE. Every can access that. It's the beautiful systems today. So the future group companies, they have given around 200% return in this 2017.
Sure.
No.
Absolutely, Porinju, completely take your point. Future group companies, between 200% to 400%. It's been a dream run. Porinju, looking at your tweets, the one interesting one that caught the eye was on the logistics sector. You said it's a low market cap, there's a long way to go. Do you like logistics? What else do you like? What excites you right now in the market?
Yeah, this is true. I have recently made a statement like that, but this is true for various other industries segments in the country. Again, I am coming back to that magic figure, 1,300 million people. This is so much relevant for many segments when we talk about logistics. Consumption, of course, everybody knows about that. Even the infrastructure what we are building up or what the country is envisaging, it's too small a market cap. If you take all the infrastructure companies in India, it is coming to a few $1 billion. Do you think, looking at the next 5 to 10 years, what India is planning to do on the infrastructure space, this is too small. Then this is going to be 5 to 10 times. Maybe there are a lot of new entrants also will come. I'm not telling the existing infrastructure companies will go 10 times. In the total market cap, including the new coming, the IPOs, or some of the small companies can go really big. That is where you make really big money, the multi-baggers. So that is how it's going to take place. So I think the media there are many challenging pockets. It's not very easy to pick stocks. So one of the stock I recently found was UFO, which we have been buying in portfolio management for some time. We are holding the stock. UFO movies, that looks very interesting. Recently they have merged the companies, that Cube, the other business, which is unlisted business, and it's going to have something like nearly 1,000 crores turnover. And the market cap is UFO, let's say something like one-time revenue. It's a very niche business with high margins and potential to improve further. I feel this is a very good stock. Again, investors need not go and buy it today or, So it's this kind of stocks, if you watch, there are a lot of them. Without looking at the segments in particular, look at the stock-wise, there are a lot of companies. When we say pharmaceutical, many companies might have gone down. But the stock, I remember, Biocon and Jubilant Life, which we mentioned, which we discussed in CNBC, they doubled in the last 1 year. So there are a lot of such things happening. So it is not investors need not really be much bothered about which industry one should pick stock. You should pick stock in the Indian economy. That is the best way to look at that. And look at the big picture. And there is really long way to go. Look at recently what happened. We all are discussing about IBC, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Court. How many people understand the impact of that? It's very easy to criticize. See the real estate regulations. Now, sab chor ko pakda jata hai.
Yeah.
So people who are manipulating the system, who are corrupt and who collude with corrupt pollutions and the corporates, they make money at the expense of the country and the public, the people in India. They are being caught. And the regulations are coming, plugging the loopholes. Yeah. Please understand. This is very, very important. We should appreciate this. Media is not very, in general I'm talking, media is very shy of projecting these big things happening in the country because they have some other problem.
Point taken, Porinju. We are unfortunately completely out of time on this show. Thank you very much for dropping by on Bazaar.